Oh, wrong camera. 1 week I'll learn which one to put on first, won't I? Hello. Sorry, I didn't see my counter ran out then. I was so busy looking at my phone, I didn't notice that the timer had run out. Evening. Alright. It's been a few weeks, innit? Sorry. I've been a busy little monkey. One's whistle. Yeah, the tattooing's got busy, and because summer's coming, so everyone's getting their skin out. And I had a helmet commission to finish off, so that's where I've been for the last few weeks. Hope you're all doing well. What have we got? Dean Brown, hope you got your commission work sorted and all turned out well. It did, mate, thank you. Yep. I did put pictures up on my social media for anyone who's interested. It was just a simple helmet design, nothing too technical. It was the guy has 2 race cars. One was red and silver, and the other one was British Racing green and gold. So he just wanted some designs done around that, using those colours. So yeah, that all turned out good. So at the minute, I'm commissionless. Although I have got one on the way. I've got a bike on the way that I've got to do Hellraiser on, which will be nice. But that's not here yet. So I've been chipping away on this Big Trouble in Little China guitar. If I switch camera. Look at that. So I'm going to redo him because I did a different method to do these guys and it worked really well. So ignore that. I'm going to redo that because he hasn't got the same level of detail that these guys have got. So yes. At the minute, I'm just going back through with some burnt umber. The old Createx burnt umber. And I'm just putting back in some shadows. They've got a bit lost when I've put some orange over the top. The orange has covered the brown a bit, so that's what I'm currently at. In the airbrush, I've got it reduced to hell and back, so I've got 5 drops of the illustration burnt umber. And then I've got 5 drops of transparent base. And then I've got 10 drops of 4011 reducer, and then topped off with a tiny bit of water, and it's basically slightly brown water. Basically. Cheers, Dean. Thank you very much. About the 3rd time I've painted their faces. Doing portraits on this scale isn't easy. Yeah, I was just going down the arm there and just adding some burnt umber. JC, good evening. Hope you're doing well, mate. I got a bit of paper here, he says. No, he hasn't. Use the back of that? Yeah, I can use the back of that. So yeah, this brown. There you go. Seriously transparent. Is just slightly coloured water. But it gives me the level of detail I need to be able to go through and put the brown back in here that's got hit with some overspray and stuff without taking out those white highlights that I've put in. You guys painting anything at the moment? What are you working on at the minute? Anything interesting? Funny, painting this has gone against all of what I know for painting flesh, because it's so unbelievably orange. There's like reds and stuff in there that I wouldn't normally do, especially in her skin, like up and around her neck there. It's actually more red than flesh, believe it or not. Been quite an interesting learning curve. I've always liked that, you know, replicating another artist's work and seeing how they did stuff. Always fascinated me. I'm also getting rid of some of the spiders. Because when I was doing the white, I was getting spiders all over the chuffing place. So this is enabling me to cover them up again. For example, on the end of that knife blade there. Although it doesn't really come out on camera, but yeah, I've got spiders galore all over this. I also worked from light to dark on this, which I don't normally do on flesh. I like to go for a mid-tone and then add shadow and highlights that way. But on here I started with like a really pale yellow, almost white, and then just went to the dark from there, which is out of my comfort zone, that's for sure, but it actually worked quite well. Like I said, to the point where I'm going to redo this guy over here, because I'm not happy with the level of detail on him. Cheers, JC. I appreciate that. Yeah, I get spiders all the time, mate. It never fails. Because I like working with really watered down paint. I'm plagued with them, don't you worry. Annoyingly, I got one right across his eye as well. Luckily you can't see it on camera, but on his eye I was doing the black shadow and the spider went that way. So I'll have to sort that out later. tricky to get a good angle for you to watch because I'm going to be darting all over the place, all over him. So forgive me if you can't see what's going on very well. All I'm doing is basically adding texture in the shadows, so like on his arms, to give the illusion of hair rather than a straight shade, like a smooth shade. All I'm doing is, in a very small way, I'm just doing figures of 8 like that while alternating the trigger, and on that scale it's giving me a fairly cool little texture. So I'm just going in adding that on the textured bit. Obviously on her, women have smooth skin, so you don't do that. You would do the smooth, a smooth gradient, as they say. But like on his chest here, there you go. So like on his chest here, the whites of this have blown out, as they say in photography, so I won't go into the white here, but around the edge we're just doing these tiny little figures of 8, and he gives you these little dots that give you the illusion of chest hair. Just show that. And again on the chin for stubble, you can do the same again. As he had to take his missus out. Yeah, got to keep the missus happy. I want to make her lips a bit more redder, but I don't want to go too far with it. You know when you look at something and you want to change something, but you're scared that it's going to ruin it. I don't know if I should leave it alone or not. Okay, so skin's looking good. I think I've put back all the browns I need to. Yeah, okay. camera reboots itself. Come on, back you come. There we go. Yeah. Right, let's sort out this knife. Goodbye, burnt umber. Leave the lips for a while and add later if needed. Yeah, totally. I'll leave that until the very last thing, I think, and then see how it goes. Astral Solari, good evening. How you doing, mate? Hope all is good. Right, so what have we got on this blade? So it's basically a bit of... Is that grey or is it light blue? It looks like grey. Let's go with grey. Now, have I got a grey straight out the bottle? That is the question. I have. Right, so to get the detail in this blade, I'm going to need it pretty watery again. Just because it appears to be the only grey I've got, I'm going to use E-Tack. I could mix up some grey, but when you've got it straight out the bottle, faster in it. Now I remember that this stuff performs really well, so I'm not going to reduce it that much. I'm going to add a couple of drops of transparent base just to help it stick, because E-Tack is rewritable. So if I touch it with my finger, it'll come off. And a transparent base acts like a glue, basically. I tried using reducer for the first time and kept spidering out no matter how I reduced my air. Using Magicolor ink, and are they incompatible? Do you know what? Inks are really watery, mate. I'm not surprised you had spidering problems with that. I don't tend to reduce my inks, if I'm honest, because they just perform so well as is. What inks do I have? Liquitex. Yeah, I use Liquitex inks, and they're really runny already. So if you reduce them, then yeah, it's going to spider everywhere. If you want to make them more transparent, try adding transparent base instead of reducer. I would have thought. Createx transparent base should be compatible because they're both water-based acrylics. So yeah, give that a try. Right, so what have we got? We have got a line that goes down there, and a line that goes down there, and a line that goes across there. Okay. The inks are acrylic based, that's why I thought the reducer would be fine, but apparently not. No, it doesn't always work. I've noticed the 4011 reducer can be a bit finicky. Like, for example, these Vallejo paints. If you stick 4011 reducer in there, it goes like gone off milk. You know that stage between milk and cheese where it's just like little clumpy flakes? That stuff instantly goes like that if you put any 4011 reducer in there. So yeah, and this is a... Actually, I'm not sure if this is acrylic. It's acrylic polyurethane. That could be why, but yeah, 4011 isn't compatible with everything. Unless it's from Creatix, of course. Ron, good evening, mate. Got recommended High Flow by Rob. Don't know High Flow. No, I've not heard of that one. I've got the old golden inks, and they're good. But mine are, crikey, 15 years old. But they're still good to go, so that goes to show how good they are. But yeah, I've not tried the High Flow. If they're anything like their other ones, then they'll be good. Jason Dixon, evening, mate. Hope all is well. Now, do I want to use a freehand mask? That is the question. And what technical thing shall I use for a freehand mask? I haven't got any paper with me whatsoever. Let's use a bit of this. Block the light for a minute. There you go, look, I just had a nice big spider. So now I'll have to get some white and fix that. Can't afford those times templates. Yeah, they cost a fortune, they do. A tiny bit of photo paper. Use my beard. I want straight edge, not texture. Right, so we'll ditch that grey because we're done with that now. Where's my squirt bottle? There it is. So now I need some white to fix that spider I just had right there. Although you can't really see it on camera, but it's there. Got a picture that'll make a right mess in the house if I don't walk out back soon. Have fun, Dean. No, I don't need a lot of white, so I've just got 2 drops in there. I'm gonna put 2 drops of reducer in there. Just blow some bubbles back into my paint cup, just mix that up. Get my really expensive stencil again. Another little spider I had down there. Cool. Oh, look at that. See? Spidering like mad. I've had a little bit of a bleed up on her shoulder. Let's zoom out. Camera's nice and sharp today. Got a good glimpse of your needle. That's cool. Great piece, camera on great. Looks just like the cover. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, I've lost count how many hours are in this now. Over the last 10 years. Sometimes if you get a spider, you can get away rubbing your finger on it a couple of times and that deals with it, but not all the time. You're probably not far off that, mate. Yeah, what's the longest I've spent on a guitar? It must be... Well, obviously I haven't been painting this every day for 10 years, but I would say probably the Appetite for Destruction Telecaster. For those of you that remember that one. That one took me 200 hours. I know because I recorded the whole process. Tell you what, editing 200 hours worth of video takes forever. I had a message from that guy a little while ago actually. Said he still got it. Still pride of place. Hangs up in his living room apparently. Yeah, definitely. Me swear? No, surely not. Oh, look at that. See, you try and be clever and try and put a tiny little white dot in his eye and it just goes... Come on, paint, you can do it. Done it. That's cool. I think he's pretty much there now. Yeah, cool. Okay. So, holster that airbrush. We'll get my paper template back, which is up there. Everything falls off. Okie dokie. So we've got his gun to do. Yeah, cool. Okay, so get this in the right place. Let's cut out that gun. On there. Guess I was like 10 min behind, didn't realise it. Caught up now, all is well. Yeah, life's not bad over here, mate, thank you. Can't grumble. Because it never gets you anywhere when you do. Right, so I've got my gun template. I'm just going to cut out around his hand so that now I can position it on his hand perfectly. If all these paints weren't on my cutting mat, of course. Used a lot of paint today. Right, so I've chopped out his hand. And that goes right there like that. So, to transfer this onto here, I have the white pastel, but it's chalk pastel. It's not oil or anything like that. It's chalk based. I'm literally just going to scribble a bit on the back of this bit of paper. Not a lot, just a bit. Good thing about chalk is you can get rid of it really easily. And then somewhere around here on this desk I've got a biro. There it is. I was watching Scott McKay's live the other day. Daniel Power was on chat. Love Daniel. Top bloke. Seems he's putting together new videos. Should be something to look forward to. Yes. Oh, what was it he was doing? Doing like an airbrush school. Yeah, I think it's a bunch of videos. I can highly recommend Dan. The top guy. And in years gone by, he released the Power series, which is a bunch of DVD instructional videos, and I have all of them, and they are all chuffing good. So, highly recommend Dan. Most of this gun's gonna be hidden under the bridge, but what the heck, we'll put it in anyway. Oh no, it's there. Because you've got a big metal bridge that's gonna sit right across this. But if I don't do it, then it'll bug me that I've done half a job, so. I'm just going over all the little details of this gun with my biro. And then when I lift it up, it will all be transferred onto the guitar in white chalk. That should do it. Yeah. You just use your finger to get rid of any excess chalk that's on there. And there you got the outline of his gun. I asked what I thought of his past DVDs. I said I loved them, but they drove my wife mad, so I asked why. That every time he said air on. Yeah, he should have had that on a t-shirt. Dread Effects, evening buddy. How you doing? Now I'm going to go a step further here as well, because this has got a lot going on behind it and the gun is black. I'm just going to cut this out, lay it on there and dust a bit of white over it. You'll see the effect it has. Hope this ain't fiddly, eh? Steve, evening buddy. Nearly done. Almost there. We'll have a fun one in a few weeks. I mentioned it before. A Hellraiser theme on a bike, and it's always tricky when someone says they want something like that, because obviously Hellraiser is a horror film. My immediate thought was making the bike look like it's made of torn flesh, and having portraits of the Cenobites in the ripped holes. But obviously that's going to look quite gross. It's not going to be very PG, let's put it that way. And you never know if your client's going to go for an idea like that or not, or whether they're going to think you're a complete weirdo and run a mile. So when I was coming up with designs for this one, I started with a couple of conservative ones, shall we say, where you have, Pinhead on the tank and the puzzle box. I did a flaming puzzle box on each side, Pinhead on the top, and then another one I did the, what do they call it? It's the lament configuration, is it? The pattern on the puzzle box. I did that all over the bike in gold. And then on the top of the tank, a portrait of all the Cenobites. And I was like, they're nice and conservative, I'll send them to him. And I thought, in the email, I'll just mention about the ripped flesh idea. That way, if he is a bit conservative, he can just turn around and say, oh no, that's not for me. But he went for it. So, in a few weeks, I'm going to have a bike that I've got to make look like it's made out of ripped flesh. So that'll be fun. I'll do that on the live stream if he's alright with that. Okay, so I've cut out the gun. Just because it's already a black base and most of the gun is black. So I'm just going to dust over some white. Not a huge amount, just a bit. There you go. Instant glowing effect. And then we can add all the details. Come on, camera, behave. Here we go. Now, I've normally got a little knob of blue tack somewhere. Well, I haven't. That's God's law. Someone's robbed me blue tack. Disaster. And everything falls off the shelf. Why is it when you get one thing off the shelf, everything falls off? Right, bit of blue tack. Stick that on my gun. So it doesn't like sticking on that chalk. go. I'm just going to stick that there for a reference. Which is something called gravity, yeah, and stacking things on my shelf like a knob. I was looking for a politer word then, but I couldn't find one, so. Oh, look at that. Spidering straight away. We're doing well, aren't we? Let's do a new mix of white, because that was pretty reduced, wasn't it? Let's do a new mix that's not quite so reduced. So, where's it gone? We've got Create X Illustration White. On for 5 drops of that. The 6th one went down my black jeans. That's great.
Dad, you want me to fix my...
If you want to, sweetheart. And then what have I got? I've got 5 drops of white, so I'll go for 3 drops of transparent base. And 3. That gives us 8 drops of material in total. So I'm going to do 4 drops of 4011 reducer. Basically reducing 50%. Basically. Then stick my thumb over the hole and give that a shake. Very convenient that the Micron's paint cup is just big enough for you to stick your thumb over the end and give it a shake. Okay, let's see how that performs, whether we got spidering all over the place or not. There you go, look, that's better, isn't it? What's your air pressure at? I am at what am I at? I'm at 30 psi from the tank. But the water Micron reduces it a bit. I don't know how much by. But I've got 30 psi coming out of my tank. There you go, you can see that a bit better now. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, the jury's still out on whether the DSLR here is better than my old camcorder. With the DSLR, I have to manually focus it and stuff. Otherwise, it just focuses on the back of my hand all the time. The camcorder didn't seem to do that much, but the camcorder is 15 years old. Although it says it's 1080p. I don't know. The jury's out on that one. Sister lent me a Sony mini DV camcorder and the thing wouldn't work unless you cleaned the heads. In order to retire it. I've got one of those. All the family videos of when the kids were little were done on a Sony mini DV camera. I kept hold of it just so I had something I could play the videos on. Keep meaning to plug it in because the kit I had to buy to plug in this DSLR can plug into my Sony mini DV camera, and I can convert all the old videos that I've got to the digital. So I keep meaning to do that, but I've never got round to it. All the old videos of the kids when they were little. All those years ago. Now I've forgotten to do his index finger here, so I'm going to paint it white because the method I used to do all this flesh was white first and then like a really pale yellow over the top and then working all the orange and brown shadows and stuff from there. So if you're wondering why I'm putting a big white blob in the middle, it's his finger. This is where it gets annoying for electric guitars as well, because I'm painting here, but that is going to be underneath the plastic pickup ring that holds the pickup in. So I'll have to paint it twice. Which would be fun. God, look at that spitting, it's like a dot to dot. That's better. That's better. That's what I call dedication. Yeah, some people leave them on and don't paint under them. Where is it? I've got it over here. I can reach it without knocking the camera. Here's one. There's a plastic ring. For those who don't know their electric guitar anatomy, there's a plastic ring that goes there that holds this pickup in. So his finger is going to be underneath this bit of plastic, so I'll have to paint it twice. Like I say, some people leave these on and just paint, but then if ever this moves ever so slightly, then you're going to have a break in your paint job. So I like to paint underneath it. Okay, that's that. Do I load a grey or do I just do that? Let's try it with just the white. This bit here is that sort of colour. That bit I'll have to black out first, otherwise it won't look right. Save that white micron. Get my little 8L plus. Put a little bit of black in this. Don't need a lot. I'm back, dog's done its business, but I forgot to take a poop bag with me, so I kicked it under the hedge. As long as it went under the hedge and didn't stick to your foot. Ooh, hello. Ooh, okay, my needle isn't set properly on this one. I just pulled the trigger and it sprayed black back at me. That's better. That's better. You get that sometimes with the H&S, I find. If this... Where are we? If the end here isn't done up nice and tight, then you push down the trigger and a ton of air floods back in there and covers you in black. This went on me and not the guitar, eh? What's that? Please refrain from spamming symbols. I need to turn that off. I knew that was going to happen. You know when you're painting away and the paint stops coming and you're like, any minute now that's going to spit everywhere. And it did. And now look, I just noticed when it did that blowback, it's put black all over his top, look. Focus. Shit. Oh dear. Oh well, there's something for me to fix later. I swear when it gets to this stage of a paint job, it's more fixing stuff than actually painting stuff. Streamlabs, yes, Streamlabs are taking the P. That's because, when was it? A couple of streams ago, I had a chap in who was spamming me with stuff. So I turned on this automatic spam bot thing, but it's very strict. I need to go have a look and adjust my settings. Come on, where's my paint? Being nanny state, yeah, definitely. Right, I think that's all the black put on there. Get rid of that. Watching from the naughty step. Yeah. Sorry if that was loud. Just cleaning out my airbrush. Then we can ditch this white and go for a bluish colour. He's a very naughty boy. Right, well, I've done with that blue. There she blows. So yeah, I'm going to use this Vallejo paint for this bit just because it's the right shade of blue. But I can't use the 4011 reducer in it because, like I say, it goes like off milk. It gets all plumpy and horrible. So I'm just going to reduce this with straight water. Nothing exciting. Good old bit of H2O. Which would probably mean you have adhesion problems, but it's only this bit across the top of the gun there that I'm doing it, so it's not a problem. And I can lock it down with a layer of transparent base afterwards. So. Tell you what though, it's paint enough, perform well with just water. That's all the blue. What time we got? 8:30. Cool. Wonder how well the black of that Vallejo stuff performed. Got some over here somewhere. Yeah, don't. I know there's a black over here somewhere. Metallic black with one pot that's probably brown. There's a suspicious gap in my paints, and I reckon that's where the black lives. So I'll just carry on using the illustration one. It does make me wonder that blue performs so well with just water. I wonder what the rest of the Vallejo one are like, because I've never really tried doing like serious detail with them. They're more model paints, so I use them with a paintbrush rather than an airbrush. But that's interesting. So I've got 2 drops of illustration black. I'm going to put 2 drops of transparent base. Giving us 4 drops of stuff. So I'm going to reduce it 50-50 and add 2 drops of 4011 reducer. It's a black hole in it. Yeah, it is. Excuse me. It's past my bedtime. Cool, okay. I reckon that will do the gun. Now, how the hell am I going to fix those black splodges? How am I going to get them off? See, I could scrape them off with a scalpel, which is probably going to be the best way to go. Yeah, exactly, a scalpel. I was thinking maybe a cotton bud with some reducer on it, but that's going to affect all the paint around them. Let's try a scalpel first to see what that does. Because I haven't got any transparent base on this at the moment. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's zoom and then focus. Right. See that puppy? Get rid of him. So I've got a scalpel here with a pretty new blade on it. I'm just ever so lightly tickling the surface where that black blob is. And it's gone. Yeah, that does work. So it'll be a bit time consuming, but it saves me having to paint a load of this all over again. Really annoying that it did that. God, they're up here as well. They're everywhere. I'm right on his chin as well, look at that. Got any more? There's one over there. It is working. Welcome to Fix Your Fuck Ups with C. You could do a whole stream on that sort of thing, couldn't you? Fuck Up Friday, where you mess something up and then you teach people how to fix it. I think I've got them all. Phew. That's that bit. Get rid of my blue tack. Time we got 10 to 9. Might call it there, you know. Let's hit it with some transparent base just to protect everything. Make sure it's all dry. Should be. Let's hit with some air. Just make absolutely sure it's all dry. Then get my big old beastie and put some transparent base in him wherever it is. There it is. I always wonder whether I should use transparent base or base coat sealer. Transparent sealer. Yeah, Autoborn. Transparent sealer. Because that's damn good stuff. But I don't know if you have to scuff it up or not once you've say if I laid it down on here to lock this down, whether you've got to then scuff it to paint on top of it, I don't know. It's great at setting your smoke alarm off though, that stuff. Should do. That locks it down, doesn't it? Only one on the right shoulder. You're right. He has got a tiny one on his right shoulder. Well spotted. I'll deal with that tomorrow, I think. It's useful, this thing. I think it's made by Sparmax. It's like the Iwata TH2, is it? Got a 0.5 nozzle on it. But it's great for just doing base coats or a layer of transparent base or something like that. Handy little thing to have. Bit greedy on the old air though. Cool, that's that. So there we go. Yeah, you're right. There is one on that shoulder. That's going to be bugging me. Yeah, coming together nice. Alright then guys, I am going to call it a night there, I think. Have a little bit of an early night because my my old carpal tunnel RSI, whatever you call it, is flaring up a bit, so I'm going to give it a rest. And I will see you all next Saturday. I've got nothing going on next Saturday, so I won't be at work and have to cancel or anything like that. I will be here. So let's go to that one. That one there. Go on, it got dark. You can't see me. Does this light still work? No, that light doesn't work. I have to sit in the dark. All right then. Well, thanks for keeping me company, guys. As always. You all take it easy, and I will see you same time next Saturday. All right. Take care, and bye bye.